Sam, it was 1-0, not 4.
4 more games.
Yeah, sorry for backing my
4 more
team.
games.
I apologize.
Technically, it's 5, Sam. It's 13 points, not 12.
Yeah. Anyway, let me talk because Sam is here, guys. So, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. That was a fucking nerve-wracking experience unnecessarily there. That was so there was no reason for us to be this nervous, but I was so fucking nervous at the end there. When Pickford came forward for the corner, bro, I was thinking all sorts of dark thoughts. It was really painful. I'm so happy we got through that at the end there. And I'm sure the guys would agree with me. Listen, stinky 1-0 wins from now to the end of the season. Who cares? Just put the title in the bag, put the trophy in the bag, and let's just get this party started. You get me? I'm so just, the quicker we win the league, the less nervous we are. Tarkovsky should have been sent off. 100% Tarkovsky should have been sent off because he almost broke McAllister's knee in half. I think Luis Diaz was our best forward today. Absolutely our best forward. Was an outlet all game long. He was absolutely unbelievable, and he's one of the reasons why we went 1-0 up. Listen, I'm going to praise 3 players today. First of all, Luis Diaz, because he was our best forward today, got past his fullback, created chances, created our most dangerous chance even in the first half when we were dreadful with the cross into Salah. The other player I want to give credit to is Diogo Jota, because that goal happens through individual brilliance. The fact that he just got past the defender and then finished it immediately, just clinical finish. And the third player I want to give credit to is Curtis Jones, because that clearance is worth £100 million at the end there. That clearance is worth, I couldn't imagine had Branthwaite scored that, even with Salah off the pitch. We definitely wouldn't have scored the second in 2 minutes. So, I'm so glad Curtis Jones cleared that. Absolutely phenomenal clearance, to be honest with you. Van Dijk, I thought he was shit in the first half. He's a lot better in the second half. But in the first half, 2 nonchalant moments there with Beto. He scored one. We were lucky he was marginally offside. The second one, thank God Beto was crap. Thank God Beto was crap and he missed it. I swear to God, when I saw him run through a goal, he hit the post. Whew, thank God we're not playing against Brazil from 2002 or something. He missed that right there. At the end of the day, wasn't the best performance. The one constructive criticism I will say is, look, performances don't matter, and we all acknowledge that. Just get the 3 points and wrap up the league. But I will say, better, performances in the next games, future-wise, will guarantee us better results. And I think this is the thing where I have to also sit back and go, it can't be just this bad. And I do think the problem with today, even in the first half a little bit, is Slot ran it back and it just didn't work. We need to change something, whether it's starting Elliott, whether whatever it is. We need to create more chances. We need to have more, we need to have a lot more creativity. Essentially what the teams are doing now is every time you're watching Liverpool, there's 3 players on Salah and that's it. Khalas, they don't trust the other 2. Today 2 of them combined and they scored, but is it sustainable for the next 8 games? Probably not, based off of evidence. So, I just want us to be a bit more creative. Play Elliott, maybe play 2 strikers, whatever it is. We just need to find a way to just switch it up a little bit because we're missing out on Trent's creativity. And we noticed that today. Yes, Curtis Jones had a fantastic clearance, but creativity-wise, he's nowhere near, obviously, Trent. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. 3 points in the bag. Happy days, but nervous, very nervous at the end. Very nervous.
I get you nervous. I want to throw this question to Mike before you give me your review on the game. I get the nervousness, but there can't really be any Liverpool fans that truly think you're going to throw away a 12-point gap with 8 games to go.
No. I think if you do, that's you're not thinking logically. That would mean that we would have to lose 5 times the amount of games that we've lost all season in 8 games, and those being against teams that are not even close to us. We play Arsenal at home, we play Chelsea away, we play Fulham away, I think we play Crystal Palace at home. I mean, if you list those 8 games, there's no shot in hell that I'm losing 5 of them. And that also Arsenal would have to win every single game. So yeah, I think that's just emotional. That's not really logic based. But I also think that looking at just the result is an emotional analysis as well. I get it. That's what people do at the end of the season. Results come first, performances or whatever. Doesn't matter how you do it. Stinky 1-0 win. But performances are indicative of the future. And when you look at the first game against PSG, this exact starting 11, almost in very similar fashion, it's just that the goal was scored 35 minutes earlier. We didn't create anything in that game away from home. Then you fast forward to Southampton, right? We're down 1-0. Darwin Núñez has to come on, score, penalty. Like, not exactly something that happens every single day. Not to mention that we didn't create a lot on the pitch that day. Then you go to the PSG second game. We created a little bit more, but nothing super clear cut. Again, not happening, same lineup. Newcastle, same exact thing. First half today, it's the same lineup. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Trent missing is the reason why we weren't able to create. That's just nonsense. It hurt us, but to say that that's the only reason is crazy to me, because the midfield couldn't control anything. It's like a team that has 75% possession to play as slow as we do, to me, is mind-blowing that we're able to actually win games. Like, that's absurd. If you look at there was a certain moment where I just stopped watching the ball and I just started to watch the front four. And I just asked myself, okay, I want to see what these guys are doing off the ball and why Luis Diaz keeps cutting in and kicking it back. Why Mo Salah keeps cutting in, kicking it back. There's no movement. Everyone is stone-footed. No one's playing around. And then the one time that we do get movement is when there's a chaotic moment on the edge of the box. It falls, serendipitously and fortuitously off of Tarkovsky's foot, straight to Diogo Jota. Fair play to him. But one moment of brilliance does not make up, for 3 months of total dog shit in the 9 position. To me, I'm just like happy for the win, but at the same time, I'm seeing warning signs. I'm seeing the same thing over and over again. I'm not seeing anything different. I'm not seeing anyone step up to the plate and try to make something else happen. I still think that we can get over the line, but start thinking about next season. Start thinking about how does that carry over. This is not a sustainable way to play football in terms of getting results week in, week out. And it's much different to how we played at the first half of the season. And I think Salah he's bearing a lot of the negativity for that, but I can't really blame him. He's never been the guy to beat 3-man. Like, he's never been a guy to get triple teamed and say, you know what, I'm taking the game. I'm gonna make it happen. It's the same thing for Luis Diaz, but it is what it is. We won the game, but I don't think anyone should be happy with that performance against Everton, especially after the first game, to create so little to only win by 1. It's just performance, Tom, not result. Performance. I'm not happy with. Result, I'm perfectly happy with.
The last time we had a good performance in the Merseyside derby was when Rafa Benitez managed Everton.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
again,
don't get good performances in derbies. No. Derbies are about winning, not about good
performances. What do you mean? We beat that team 2-0 at Anfield for 3 straight seasons. What do you mean? That's a bad performance.
This team hasn't been beaten in 6 games, Mike.
I don't care. It's fucking Everton.
Basically
it's Everton.
11 players back.
Everton, bro. It's Everton.
I know.
It's not even about the amount of goals. It's not even about the amount of goals that we scored. We created literally one clear-cut chance in 90 minutes. And that was Diogo Jota. That's it. And Beto's was a better chance. And we're lucky. First off, he's a hairline fracture offside on the first goal, right? And then he I don't know how you missed that. That's like Darwin Núñez-esque miss in front of net to hit the post. That's 2 goals that could have happened to our one opportunity. Any other opportunity that you can look at in that game, you had to shoot it past three players in the center of the box who are 6'5". I'm not surprised that they're able to block them because they're the biggest men on the pitch. I know. Because they're the biggest guys on the pitch.
Are a really good defensive team. They just are. That's how they're set up. Look, for me, it really felt like Nottingham Forest all over again. It felt like a lot of the players were leggy. They were still on the plane. They'd had some tough games. If you look at the number of minutes that some of our players played in those international games, I'm not surprised they were tired again. And look, we have to be honest. Liverpool right now do not play well against Groks. They don't. All of the games that we haven't played well in, a lot of draws, the couple of losses that we've had, we basically played against Groks in midfield and in defence. And if we keep on crossing it to 7-foot-tall players, I just don't know where we're going to go from there. So we need to just get the ball on the ground and do something with it. And that's how we scored.
It wasn't the crossing say, though. What you saw today in the first half was a team that was trying too much, was trying to be this perfect footballing team. And you'd end up at points in the attack where Diogo Jota and Dominic Szoboszlai are your two DMs receiving the ball off your centre-backs because you're trying to get all these rotations which put players in the perfect position to get underlaps and that and the other. At the end of the day, what worked was telling Diogo Jota to stop dropping in, go play a little bit closer to the centre-backs, pick up the second balls, and then link up off of that. I agree with Sam Diaz had a very good game today in all facets. Very good game, and especially defensively. But he was better in the second half when we weren't asking him to constantly pick up the ball on the halfway line and drift into the middle and play this wonderful crossfield ball over to Salah. When we simplified the game, we were better. Guess what? Everton came to Anfield today with the sole focus of stopping us scoring. And if they hit one on the counter, they hit one on the counter. That's what a derby is, especially against Everton. They had their moments against us this season. They had that moment with the Tarkowski equalising in Goodison. They did, I'll be honest, for a lot of Everton fans, this one was a bit of a dead rubber for them. They didn't think today could be better than what they experienced that day with Tarkowski. So they were just coming there to spoil our party. They were always going to be hard to beat. Derby's always notoriously crap games. You mentioned the last couple ones we won 2-0. Last year we won 2-0 because in the first half, Everton got a red card. If Tarkowski got the red card they deserved today, it would have been an entirely different game. Maybe we scored 2 or 3 and the performance looks really good. The year before that, 2-0. That was an Everton team that should have got relegated by all accounts. The year before that, 2-0, and we battered them.
Yeah, but Tom, you're going way too much to the other extreme. There is validity to what Mike is saying, and I said it as well when I was speaking. Whereas when we go away to Fulham, they're also going to be compact. They're also going to be defensive. So you need a way to unlock a low block. What if Diaz and Jota don't combine like that against Fulham? We might not win, and that's the problem. We have to find a sustainable way of unlocking low blocks. That's it.
The only reason why I am at all in any way, shape, or form negative is because this is not a game where I can point to in isolation. It's a game where I can point to in a pattern. It's a game where I can say PSG, Southampton, PSG, Newcastle. I could even probably draw it back a little bit further and say, I don't know, the 2 or 3 games before that where I don't feel confident in the creativity or the rotation. I mean, like you just said that we were trying to play too perfect. Watch anyone off the ball in that first half. We weren't trying to play perfect. It was get the ball to Diaz, try to cut inside. Hopefully O'Brien is too slow. Whip a ball in. Get the ball to Mo. Do the same exact thing. No creativity from the middle. And then the only time where Gravenberch steps up to play a through ball from a central position, we end up scoring a goal. Like
Mike, can I ask you a question? I said at the beginning of the show that the way you're ending the season sort of reminds me a little bit of Chelsea in 2014-15. Now, they, though, took that bad performances into the next season. Is that what you're concerned about? There could be hangover into next year, or is it just about wanting to be entertained more between now and the end of the season?
To me, it's about looking at the way that we're playing on a consistent basis and seeing what potential problems would arise next season, barring, let's say Trent leaves, let's say, I don't know, God forbid, Mo Salah or Virgil van Dijk leaves, whatever. I mean, I'm always looking forward to the future. And again, like I have a different mind than other people. Other people are results-based. Like result is what matters the most for me. I've always been a performance, style of fan. And so, I don't want to see these same issues happening. And also the fact that I see the same lineup that isn't producing anywhere near a solid performance going out for 6 straight games, kind of getting the same result, barring just a few opportunities here or there.
Well,
that's a little.
We know where the problems are. The problems are the forward line have scored 3 goals this year, apart from Salah and Cody. I mean, Cody wasn't even on the pitch today. I mean, that's a big issue. Like, we miss Cody. We miss Cody because he seems to have a bit of pace about him, and he seems to be able to put the ball in the onion bag.
We didn't miss him today, ironically.
And he relieves the pressure off Salah.
Today wasn't on the attack. Well, today was on the fact that at points in build-up, we were too cautious. We were waiting for the perfect gap to arise against an Everton low block. I don't think that happened because I don't think other teams play that level of low block against us for the rest of the season. Again, I look at Everton. This is all Everton have left in the season. They do not give a shit about any other game this season. There is no other game, and they barely cared about this one because, like I
Tom,
said, their Goodison derby was better.
Tom,
This
it's all
was
about
unforgettable.
Moisey. It's all about Moisey. Moisey just doesn't want to lose against us again. He's got a horrible record against us.
Marco Silva is not going to play against us at Craven Cottage on Sunday with Sander Berg and Alex Iwobi playing as auxiliary centre backs, because that was how it ended up in points in that game today against Everton. I understand that, yes, we struggled to break down 6 at the back at points, and yes, we had some crazy ideas for trying to break that down in the first half. But I look at the second half where more space was there, where a more reasonable and a more obvious sort of space, which most teams give up in every single game, was there. And we were exploiting it properly because we made the necessary adjustments. I am glad that we stopped telling Diogo Jota in that second half to drop deep like he's Andrea Pirlo. When you put Diogo Jota near centre-backs, stuff happens. When you put Diogo Jota in the areas where second balls can drop in between defence and midfield, he can make stuff happen. That goal today was because he's able to operate in that space between centre-back and midfield. In the first half, he wasn't allowed to do that because he had to go drop deep into the left back area to pick up the ball and try and dictate. That is the only thing I'm getting at. I don't think it's a case of performance needs to be heavily scrutinised in this game, because derbies are not games where you put in stellar performances. They're not. If we put in a performance like this against Fulham, we might score more because we're looking at it in the isolation of what a derby is. I'm not looking at this performance and going, "Oh, this is horrendous." Derbies are about getting 3 points and getting bragging rights.
I think both of you can be right.
Performances.
I think both of you.